gentlemen, here we are again. We want to welcome the Damn Nation to today's show of
the Damn Good
Show.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Thank
back.
you guys for investing in time and listening to us. We appreciate it. The first episode went a lot better than actually we even expected. So thank you guys for showing up and showing out. So episode 2.
Here we are.
Here we go.
Here we are.
I want to start this episode out actually by just a quick little shout out.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a little, a friend of ours had a issue going through this year that I just wanted to recognize and make sure we give some proper time to real quick. Mm-hmm. So good friend of mine, met when I moved to Florida here in 2005, about the same time I met you guys actually. He's an alumni from Virginia Tech. He and his wife both are. Sorry, but they are. But anyway, known them for years, came back 2014, picked up our relationship, but they've got 2 kids, a son and a daughter. It's about the same age as our kids, a little bit younger. They both play soccer. So their daughter, Ryan, was going through some practices and games and stuff with soccer. Mm-hmm. I think they play with, what is it, FKK or something like that? What's that? One of them.
Something along those lines.
One of those. Sorry, guys, I don't remember. Yeah. But she started noticing a lot of pain in her back over a little bit of time. So they took her into the doctor. Long story short, they found out she was diagnosed with Ewing Sarcoma, form of cancer, if you're not familiar with it. So that was back in April of 2018. So shortly thereafter, they started doing treatments and whatnot. So she was at Arnold Palmer. Shout out to Arnold Palmer. They treated her awesome and spent 9 months in treatment plans. And over those 9 months, was doing really well. The girl is just a fighter, man. I have to give it out to her. You know, a lot of kids who go through those situations don't even want to go to school. They don't want to hang out with their friends. They're really down on themselves. But she insisted on going to school. So she was able to go through, obviously the summer was off, but once they got back into school, she insisted on going to class when she could. And of course, the doctors and everything helped her out to try to make that work along with the community that we have here. So getting back here to January of 2019, we just heard the other day, she went in for her final scans after about 24 rounds of treatment. Mm-hmm. And she's cancer free.
That is awesome.
Right?
That is awesome.
Man, I'm telling you, like it was,
that is
I didn't know how to take it, right?
Yeah.
Good friend of ours, you know, their child, 8 years old, gets diagnosed with cancer and she beat it, man. She tore it up. Got a lot of people to support her, support the family. So here in our neighborhood, so shout out to you guys.
Shout out.
But I wanted to give you, some proper time here to make sure we addressed it. We have these little bands that were sold to try to support the family. So if you see an RH8 Strong hashtag, we'll put it up here in the video as well or down in the comments, so everybody can take a look. So good job, Ryan, and keep kicking it, man. We appreciate
congratulations to you. I think a lot of people out there in some way or shape or form has somebody that's dealing with illness and cancer. I know 3 other families here in Orlando that are dealing with and battling, cancer right now. So to all of you out there, prayers are coming your way, and, just keep fighting, stay strong, and know that people out there love you. So
yeah, no, that's awesome. And for those of you who are going through something, you may need a little support from the community, reach out to us. We'd be happy to put you on here and give you a little love. So anyway, yeah. So
all right, let's jump into the show.
Let's do it.
All right, so today's topic and episode, we're going to talk a little bit about social media.
Social media.
Yeah, social media. And so we've come across quite a few reports where many of you are already aware. Old posts come back and bite you. Old messages, things that go out there come back and bite you. I mean, really, I was thinking about it earlier. As we do this show, I was like, this may come back and bite us this show.
We'll see.
So we'll actually see how it plays out. But this article I was reading about a Duke player, football player, and let me correct that. He was actually a Duke recruit.
He wasn't even
on the team yet.
All right.
Some old posts, that he got out there, came back, and the university found out, the athletic department found out, and they rescinded his scholarship offer.
So what exactly did he do?
Well, that I actually don't know.
We don't know.
I didn't read the whole article.
It was probably deleted before anybody tried.
But it just got me really just thinking in general. How does that affect us, people like me, people like you guys out there? How does that affect you when today in society we're sharing so much of our lives on social media. We're sharing, our perspective, our views, in some cases, misguided views, not judging anyone particularly. But when you're out there and you're putting your passion, your heart out there on something, we see today that it's easy for your message to come across and it stroke the wrong tune.
Yeah, super easy, especially with all the keyboard ninjas out there, right? I think we talked about it in the first episode. It's real easy to hide behind a keyboard and make comments, and that's frankly what a lot of people do. 90% of you guys out there do it. I've done it. Mike's probably done it. Everybody does it, but you don't realize the consequences all the time. And of course, maybe it's as I've become a little more wiser, right, with raising kids, and I'm trying to tell them what not to do. What they put out there is going to stay. If it's on the internet, it's going to be around somewhere.
And that got me thinking even more, as we talk about our kids, and I know many of you probably have kids out there, how many parents are actually kind of monitoring, what their kids are putting out there, monitoring what social media sites, they're on. My son has access to an Instagram account. He also has a Twitter account, which we recently started, I would say late 2018. But those are two accounts that we both monitor. My wife and I, we both monitor. We're also his friends. I have a joke about that later on social media. And so we're able to see those correspondence, those messages, and the different things that he interacts with on a regular basis.
Right.
But I know that there are parents out there that have no clue what's going on. I mean, when we think about the message with the Duke player and how his message, whatever it may be, I apologize for not doing that research, but whatever that message was, it was enough to get his scholarship rescinded. But then you go even deeper and you look at how just being on social media, not being guided, how that leads to catfishing and other elements. And so just really kind of controlling and monitoring, what our kids are doing. So as they get older, as they get to that high school level, as they get to those college level, they have learned something as far as how to protect themselves, how to, protect others, because there's a lot of bullying and things going on social media.
Yep.
So, I think this is a deep topic that, the Damn Nation can kind of chime in on and provide some insight on maybe experiences or things that they have come across.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, that's actually a timely thing, right? Because so this weekend, I help out with one of our local organizations for the kids here, and we had exact situation like that come up. So we talk all the time about our kids and what they have. So they have the social media, they have access to cell phones, they have access to all the computers, the iPads, whatever. But at the end of the day, we're trying to teach them that I'm sorry, but that device that I purchased you is actually still mine. So on that note, we had one of the younger men in our group, without the adults around, did something kind of stupid. It was kind of innocuous, but it was still stupid at the end of the day. He caught himself on, he videoed himself doing it, whatever this action. It wasn't bad, but I don't want to call him out too much, but he did something stupid. And then he sent the video to his friend who wasn't on the trip with us. Well, guess what? Mom had the friend's phone. The friend didn't have his phone. His mom had it.
So mom got to see the act.
Mom got to see the act real time. So when I got back, of course.
So mom wasn't watching it and sharing it with her girlfriends. And
Nah. I don't think. Hopefully y'all don't do that to your kids, man. But at the end of the day, right? She has a policy. He got his phone taken away, and she's got access to whatever she wants. So anyway, she got the video. We get back on the weekend, and she sends me a text message. Hey, did you know that so and so was doing this? We need to nip this in the bud. Why are the kids acting up like that? I'm like, well, there are times when we're not actually having eyes on them, so they did something stupid. So anyway, we had to address it afterwards. But the message there is, right, anything you do, and you might think it's just funny, it might just be something, hey, I'm just clowning around. But whatever you do, it's going to be put out there, and it could be worse cases than that. I mean, that's, to me, we can handle that. That's not a big deal. But what if it's something you do that's going to keep you from getting a job? People do not realize scholarships from school, jobs, anything you can think of that someone can look you up. I remember years ago, it might have been 10, 12 years ago, I went to a job and I went to the interview, and we got into talking with the guy, and he shook my hand and he says, "Oh, how was this thing you did in college back when you were at Virginia Tech? You were at this award show or whatever." And I'm like, "How did he know that?" At the time, it didn't dawn on me. Well, someone from the school, or as part of a project even, we posted stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
Back then, we didn't dawn on us like at some point somebody can look this stuff up. So you go out on the internet, go to Google, type my name in, type Damon Abrazari. You'll find all kinds of stupid stuff from back in the day.
Ignore the stuff from New Orleans when he was in costume.
Actually, I've never done that. I would like to.
Yeah, we gotta go to Mardi Gras one year.
Yeah, I've been before the week and after the week, but I've never been to it. So anyway, but yeah, I've had it come up with jobs. I've had it come up with young kids. I've had it come up with athletes, right? And that's a big deal. And when it comes to a student athlete, you're playing with your future, your money.
Well, I know some of the previous coaches at the University of Central Florida, and I've had conversations with them about athletes that they've recruited and brought in, and a lot of talented athletes that have come through the doors of UCF. But occasionally you get those athletes that they get there, they show a lot of promise, and then they just kind of teeter out once they arrive. So I began asking them questions, regarding their recruiting process. Do they look at social media and things like that? Because I knew quite a few of the athletes on the team, as far as I'll say a little more personally than just occasionally walking by. So I knew the type of activities that they were into, and typically they were always training, they were always running, and when you would go onto their social media sites, you would see exactly that. You would see that, hey, I did five miles today, or I did this banging weight training workout today, and you could then see the results of their weekend, their week-long activities. You would see that in their performances.
Absolutely.
And then you get to those other athletes that were kind of the ones that kind of teetered out, that weren't performing well. You go to their social media sites, they're partying, they're talking about, different apparel, different things, they're drinking.
These new kicks, man.
Yeah, I mean, just, things that are outside of what, they're in college for, which is, number one, their academics, and then to perform athletically. You could see the difference. And so we got down to conversation that a lot of coaches now, they're on your social media sites. They're checking you out, seeing what your habits are, because your social media posts, whether it be on Twitter, anything, they tell a story about who you are. And so you need to be on there displaying the person that you want the world to see.
Right.
Again, there are a lot of things that have come back and bite, and I want to use Kevin Hart as an example. Kevin Hart situation, I think everybody knows about that with the Academy Award that's coming up next month. He was supposed to host that show.
It was Oscars last month.
It was last month? I thought it was next month.
Last week, 2 weeks ago.
Oscars?
I thought so.
No, I think Oscars is in February.
I'm an idiot.
I think Oscars is in February. Somebody's going to chime in and let us know. I believe it's in February. But
I'll take the hit. He
was supposed to host. And because of jokes and things that he did about the LGBT community, he received a lot of backlash.
Sure.
Now, I'm not going to get into his apology aspect, because he felt as though that, hey, I apologize for this
multiple times.
That's not who I am,
right?
Kind of thing. But it just kept recycling, where to the point that he got frustrated, because how many times do I got to apologize for this? Not defending or supporting anybody in this particular argument, just kind of bringing to the light that messages, actions, things that you do on social media will come back and eventually either support you, lift you up, or it's going to tear you down. And this is an opportunity for, parents out there, or young adults, or really just anybody in general that's online, to kind of think about who you want the world to see. How do you want the world to see you?
Yeah.
And making sure that you're presenting those messages in a way that shows that person. Because again, we've both said it. The internet is forever, and the internet is undefeated as far as tearing you down.
There's one thing that's for sure with Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You know what's cheap for them? storage.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm the IT guy, right? I mean, I understand it from the back end of it. It's easy to store all that data. That's not a problem these days.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're doing, and they're trying to keep it for the future. Now, there's a lot of good reasons they're trying to do it, but then obviously there's a whole discussion we can get into with the ethics of how they do that. But but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, right? And not for us to sound like we're holier than thou, but at the end of the day, we're trying to make suggestions. Parents, put the reins in there. Make sure you're watching your kids. Make sure you kind of see what they're doing. I'm not saying hold them back, because as a technologist kind of person myself, I want my kids to learn, because that's going to be the future.
Yeah.
Right?
But also for yourselves too. We have to do better in reining ourselves in as well, because you mentioned this. We have to lead by example, and so if we're doing foolish things, typically our kids are going to be foolish things. So or better yet, this is the way that I can explain it, our actions will become their habits, because they are watching us. Their eyes are on us. So
absolutely.
I open this up to you guys. Please comment. Let us know your thoughts on this particular topic, so we can share with the rest of the damn nation, and kind of go from there.
Cool. Yep.
All right.
Those ideas didn't get planted in their head by default, right?
No, they did not.
Even us, when we were kids, somehow they were instilled in us by somebody. It was either our parents or people close to us or our friends. So yeah.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, make comments,
share, like, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, and then we will catch you in episode 3.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
This
is Damon and Mike, and this is a damn
good
show.
Peace.